and she was in the youth government program. She ended up somehow sitting here, right? Remember that?
Yes.
She was the mayor for the youth government program. And once she sat up here, she proceeded to tell us what we were doing wrong, specifically what I was doing wrong. I thought that took incredible courage. And then she came to work for us at the Paris law firm and then went to law school. I'm extraordinarily proud of her, and contributing whatever we contributed to your success was something I'm also proud of. And I get to swear her in as a lawyer today, and then we'll have a meeting. Come on up. Oh, she passed the first time, too. Not everybody.
That was a shot at one.
I'm ready. I'm going to try my hardest. Mine is this one.
You already messed up.
I know.
Stop making me nervous.
I, Samira Carpenter,
Solemnly
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of an attorney and counselor at law to the best of my knowledge and ability. As an officer of the court, I will strive to conduct myself at all times with dignity, courtesy, and integrity. Let's put your family up here. Let's get a picture.
Let's get a picture of you two first. Come over here.
Thank you.
Get 2 feet behind.
All right, one.
starting a career as an attorney. You can do great things with it. But the only thing I think that matters is that when the journey's over, this world is a better place because of you. Always remember, every decision you make doesn't make the world a better place. God did not give you the talents you have, the intellect you have, the charisma that you have. Any other reason. I really think that. You guys can leave if you want to, or you can stay. It's up to you. Oh, except the ones from my office. I want you to go back to work. Now the Lancaster City Council meeting has started. The reason we did that is there's some kind of rule about swearing people in who are not connected to the city. So anyway, so that's why we did it. City Clerk, can you call the roll?
City Council Member, Agency Director, Housing Authority Members Hughes Leslie,
Present.
Molly,
Present.
Mann,
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ,
Present.
Mayor Chairman Paris.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The invocation today is with Tony Herrera from Grace Chapel.
We'll go ahead and bow our heads in prayer. Father, we thank you for this day. Lord, we are so grateful that you give us life. And Lord, today as the council has different things on their docket and different things that they're doing for the city, Lord, I just pray that you would give them wisdom. Lord, I pray that you would bless them. Lord, thank you for what a great relationship they have with all the churches in the valley, Lord. What a sweet partnership it's been over the past couple months and over the years, Lord. And so we just pray you would continue to foster that in all of our hearts. And Lord, we do just ask that as they make decisions, Lord, just pray that the people of Lancaster would feel blessed by that, Lord. Thank you for the long hours that they work each and every week, each and every day, Lord. And I just pray that you would bless their efforts. Lord, we love you and we thank you. And we pray all of this in your precious son's name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Ken, you want to do the pledge?
Sure, my pleasure. If everybody would turn, face the flag, put your right hand over your heart, and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some presentations today, but before we go into those, I've been gone for 90 days. I've left you alone for 90 days, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, my wife called and complained about a few things, but that wasn't me, right?
Correct.
Fair enough, okay. I'm incredibly impressed with what you've done. It was much different than the status quo. It brought a new, I don't know what you would call it.
Community.
Community, yeah, and you spent a lot of effort building that community. And I would like to see those efforts continue. So we're talking about how do we redivide the division of authority in the city, because I don't want to lose that. I like the things that I came back to. I also came back to things that the staff was doing. I mean, I've spent the last few days meeting with them, and they were telling me all these things that they're doing. And it's truly remarkable. I mean, I don't even know where to start. You know, the changes that we're making that are in progress right now what we're doing with the art in the community, what we're doing with the parks in the community, what we're doing with the kids in the community. It's very different. It's very progressive, although I guess we're not supposed to use that word anymore. How could the word progressive become political? It did. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's forward moving. And then yesterday, I spent the day in Lancaster Police Department. Wow, you guys have got to see this. There is nothing like it in the country and perhaps the world. The way they're able to, I'll give you an example. A murder happened at an intersection, and that's all the information they had. No other information. Using the technology that's now available to them, and just as important, the training that Rod has given his people, because it takes a lot of training to use this technology. An hour later, he's in custody. Nobody knew who did it. Nobody knew even what car he was driving. It was that incredible. I honestly think we're very close to being a city. You could commit a crime in this city, you're going to get caught. That's just the way it is. What's happened with the community cleanup in the churches, I was telling Marvin, I said, you know, it wasn't a community cleanup. It was the cleanup made a community. I mean, everybody's feeling who participated in that much closer, much more engaged as a community. And it just gives us some idea of what's possible. The things that are happening in this city are just beginning, and it's incredible. And what's most incredible is, remember the soccer stadium. From idea to completion, 8 months. 8 months. So now we have the best pro soccer stadium other than, you know, whatever, the Super Bowl, I guess, or those things, anywhere. And we got a team that wins. Most important, we have a team that wins. I'm so proud to be part of this community. Thank you. With that, let's start with the presentations. Trolleys?
So first and foremost, welcome back, Mayor.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back. It's been fun touring you around and showing you what we've been working on, because it's been a lot of exciting things, I think. So today we have John Smelzer with us. He's the president of the AV Alta football team. He's going to come up and give a brief presentation. Before I bring him up, though, because we are going to present him with a cert at the end, this was a journey. He came. He used to drive through the community on the 14 freeway. He had a vision to put a soccer team in there. He talked to us, thought we would just blow him off and say no, but he met a city as crazy as him that would say yes to his idea, and now they've played their first season. I think we thought we had a community that would embrace soccer. Now we know we have a community that embraces soccer. So with that, John, come on up and your presentation. Green is forward.
Got it. Thank you, Mayor. Welcome back. We do have a team that wins at home. We got to work on winning on the road, but yeah, it's been a great journey, and I appreciate it. I wish I could thank you all by name, and all the city staff too that I've worked with so closely. But I think we'd be here all day, and we have other business to do. I can't thank the city of Lancaster enough. I think I just don't think there's any other city that would be as progressive and move as quickly and see the vision like you did. And as I will mention in a minute, we do, in fact, have the best stadium in USL League One by a mile, and it's a nationwide league. And also, I believe the stadium just won an award from the American Public Works Association, Best Athletic Facility in Southern California. So that's an objective third party validating what I think we all knew. I want to thank our partners. This slide doesn't do it justice. First, we have many more partners than this, and behind all of these logos are people, and these are people who believed in us when literally all we had was a PowerPoint slide. So we're incredibly grateful and loyal to them, and we couldn't have done it without their support. I want to thank our staff, our young and talented staff, almost all of whom are born and raised in the AV, almost all of whom had no professional sports experience whatsoever. And I have to say, I did not intend to go and hire a diverse staff. In each instance, I hired the person who I thought was best for the job. But I'm very pleased to say that I do think we represent a cross-section of the Antelope Valley, and I think that that's integral to, key to our authenticity, which I think speaks for itself. Also want to thank our supporters groups, the 661, and our newest supporter group, Union 14. Those are the big teddy bears in the North Grandstand. So ours is a visual business. If you haven't been to the stadium and haven't experienced, I got just a short little taste of it here. So that was our inaugural match, which we sold out. We also sold out our final match of the season, and we averaged about 4,300 throughout the season. Just a brief overview of the league we're in, USL League One. This is Division III professional soccer. It's a national league. We're adding a number of new teams in 26 and 27. And the league we're in, the United Soccer League, is adopting promotion relegation, which if you're a soccer nerd, that means that if we win our league, we can move up. And we can move up to a second division, and ultimately we could move up to a third division where we would be playing top-tier cities like NFL cities. So that's all very possible. It happens all the time in soccer all over the world. And if you're, like say, if you're a soccer nerd, it's a really big development. All of our games are on television, on the CBS networks and the ESPN networks. The city of Lancaster gets great exposure on these games. And it's really interesting to hear people talk about Lancaster and say that it's not Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I actually think that that means a lot. And we have the best stadium in USL League One by a mile. If we were to get promoted to the division above us, it would still be one of the best stadiums. And the thing I love is when the opposing players come out of the locker room, they all take their phones out and just sort of go like this and email their friends back home and say, you gotta see this. And ultimately, their agents call us and say they want to come play for us. So it's a huge competitive advantage. Just a couple of stats. We distributed over 90,000 tickets this year. There were a few comps in there, but not many. Tickets are our lifeblood, and almost every one of these was sold. We had a couple of sellouts, averaged 4,100, 4,168 a match. I wanted to say I have another slide on ticket prices. And so, look, we think this was a great start for our first year. We think we can do better than this next year and in the years to come. Affordable tickets have been a big part of it. We have tickets starting as low as $10. There's over 1,000 seats in the stadium that go for $19 or less. Average ticket price is $20 effectively, and that includes the more expensive seats, so there's quite a few seats less than that. And then the $99 family pack we did was a huge success. 4 tickets, 4 meals, parking for $99, and we filled the whole West Grandstand with families and kids, and it was really great to see. So that's going to be a permanent fixture for us. We missed the playoffs by 1 place, really 1 point, 1 goal, but finished 9th out of 14 in our inaugural season and better than all of the expansion teams except 1. So again, I think it was a decent start, but I do think we'll do better going forward. Soccer is unique, and you get to play in these Open Cup competitions, which allowed us to play teams in the Division II and Division I. We beat 3 out of 5 teams that we played in Division II. We got to play Dallas in Major League Soccer, and they literally thought we were from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. On the Jumbotron, they put that up for us. The city of Lancaster played competitive professional sporting events this year against Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas, and Dallas. And I think that's pretty impressive. And there'll be more of that to come. This, I could show you this slide in a bunch of different formats, but basically, we were second in every KPI you could imagine. So attendance, revenue, sponsorship, merchandise, social media. We had, back in August, we already had about 3.5 million views of our videos. And so by the end of the year, I think we'll be at 5 million. Our rivals and nemesis in Portland, Maine, tend to be number one, but that gives us something to strive for. We're both expansion teams, and these two teams lead the entire league in almost every metric, and some of these teams have been around for 10 years. We spent a lot of money on marketing, but one of the lessons we learned is we're really going to redirect our funds in 2026 towards community events, so sponsoring the Christmas parade, sponsoring Stuff a Bus. We think that this is really, we actually do have still an awareness problem. There's still a lot of people who don't know us, and we think that doubling down on these community events is going to really help us with that problem. For me, it's all about community, and so I just want to show you some images of how we've been getting the community on the field. Above and beyond the professional sports team, we've been getting the community and kids on the field in a lot of different ways. So we're just getting started in that respect. This morning, I went to the AV High School Union board meeting, invited them to play their high school games, select high school games at the stadium this year, and we'll just keep doing that. And I think for me personally, it's the greatest thing to go out there on a Wednesday night when the AYSO kids are playing, and it's a highlight for them. And I really enjoy that aspect of it, and I think you're going to see more of it. The last word I would say on community is that when you're a community-based team like us, it's the right thing to do, and it's also the business model. So it's the long-term, and we think always long-term. It's the connection with the community that will ultimately drive the ticket sales, which will keep us in business forever. And so it's a very virtuous cycle. I'm very proud of it. And again, thank you very much for all your support in this. Thanks.
So, John, when are we going to have a women's team?
I'm sorry, what?
When are we going to have a women's team?
A women's team, thank you. Soon.
Good.
We're going to decide in the next couple of days whether it's going to be 26 or 27. If we do it, we want to do it right, and we're going to make that decision soon. But it will happen, 26 or 27.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, John. And on behalf of the city and the city council, we have this proclamation. We'll take you up there and get some pictures. But there is one contingency. We want a championship next year.
Next, we have Lancaster PD. Chief Armelin is going to give us a presentation.
Sir, I got to tell you, before I wore this, I wore the tan and green, so LAPD is a bad word around me. Let me bring this up a bit.
You know, I'm receiving requests to change the name to AV Police Department, just so you know.
All right.
I said no, but
All right. Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. It's my pleasure today to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing out there with operations and dealing with some of the issues in our community. We've been pretty busy since getting our officers on, and I want to give you a taste of that today. So some of the recent operations we've done, and I'll give you more on it, we've been looking and dealing with sex trafficking, retail theft, traffic enforcement, illegal gambling houses, otherwise known as taps, and illegal massage parlors as well. So first with the sex trafficking, as in sticking with our motto of community-led policing, we started dealing with the Sierra Highway matters by going out and doing community engagement and finding out what's going on out there. And that included contacting the businesses and the community, the residents, doing surveys and doing some direct contacts, going and knocking on doors and finding out what's been happening and how they feel about it. We've used our Lancaster Praise Group, which is our pastors group, to go out and actually do outreach and try and get some of these young ladies out of that lifestyle. Also, we followed that up with something we were calling Dear John letters, and basically this was where we would survey and use cameras as well and catch individuals who are actually hiring these young girls and looking at them as part of the root cause for the problem, why they're out there. And we would send letters to a registered or to a home and let them know, hey, this is an illegal activity. Not only can you be arrested, but your vehicle could be impounded. And then we did suppression patrols with our officers, just going out and making it very difficult for folks to partake in that type of activity. We followed that up with some sting operations where we actually put undercover officers out there working as some of the ladies out there. And we did 2 operations, and we had 9 suspects arrested for solicitation of prostitution as well as indecent exposure. And we also towed 6 of the vehicles that some of those suspects were driving. We're going to continue to attack that issue because that definitely is one of the primary problems I get calls about within our community. So we're going to continue to work on that. Retail theft. As we all know, it rose over the past few years, and so we started to conduct retail theft operations this past month. And we did the 2 Walmarts as well as the Home Depot. In those operations, we made 9 arrests, recovered over $1,500 worth of stolen property. We also did, and that was 3 separate operations, we also did a 4th operation where we went to one of the Walmarts and actually contacted some folks, you know, just as they were about to steal items, and had a conversation with them and said, this is where this is where this headed. This has to stop. So the Walmart was extremely appreciative of that as well. So we're going to continue down that road, and there's several other major stores that are reaching out and asking us to come and do some more of these operations, and we absolutely are. Traffic enforcement, we started with our small cadre of LPD motors, and they've gone out and done some operations on their own where they targeted specific areas that were problems. They did that in June and July, and during that time, they wrote over 100 citations. As is the case, being a new PD, we wanted to also get warnings. So prior to going out and doing that, they made a lot of stops and issued warnings, as well as our comms team put out a lot of information about poor driving and that we were going to be out issuing cites. And then we followed that up with a multi-agency operation where we invited Baldwin Park, Azusa PD, Culver City, Union Pacific Railroad, which also has a PD, the CHP, South Pasadena, and San Gabriel Police Department. So we had over 40 officers, most of them on motorcycles, come up and work a 3-hour period in our city. Over that time, we wrote 200 citations and towed 2 vehicles. And we focused on the very hazardous 3 main areas, which are speeding, stop signs, failure to stop, and cell phone use. This is a collaboration that we've partnered with these agencies, and there's a few others that couldn't come up that day. And so we want the public to know that there will be more of this, because driving is one of the things that we absolutely have to have an effect on, get our fatalities and our poor driving down. And then I want to tell you about the illegal gambling houses. So we recently did an operation, and this operation was led by our great partners with the LA County Sheriff's Department, one of their narcotics teams. And in working with them, we identified several locations, and these locations are known as tap taps. And I think, yeah, you can see one of the machines that my officers are near. It's really like a video game. It's amazing that adults are going in there and gambling this money away. But we hit 4 locations, and with that, we had 10 arrests, 2 firearms recovered, and you can see all the drugs that were inside those locations, including ecstasy pills, cocaine, and PCP. And we also recovered $3,500 in cash and towed 2 vehicles. We also want the individuals to know who are doing this that we are coming after you. There's more locations like this, and we're going to do additional operations in this area as well. Wherever these things are, there's usually violence associated with it, so we're not letting up on that as well. And then we also have been working on some of the illegal massage parlors, and these are massage parlors that started out and were licensed to perform appropriately, and then they turn into prostitution houses. So we've been targeting those, and we recently shut one down. So we're going to continue to address those matters as well. I have to apologize because the operation that I didn't get put up there is our smoke shop operation, which we did. The vice mayor came out for that, as did Councilman Mann. And on that day, well, it was a 2-day operation, and we have 76 smoke shops within our city. That's quite a few. We ended up visiting nearly half of those. We hit 30 smoke shops, and every single one of those shops was in violation of some type. We partnered with the California Department of Tax and Administration, the Health Department, California Cannabis Control as well, and our partners from the LA County Sheriff's Department. Every one of those shops was in violation. Every one of those shops had unlicensed, unregulated cannabis products, and some of those products are packaged to look like candy. And potato chips and whatever else, and we are finding that with some of our youth. Psilocybin mushrooms, which are the magic mushrooms, a hallucinogen. We found that type of product in there. Nitrous oxide, and these are in colorful tanks that would attract a youth. Weapons, and then one of the really concerning products is Catrum. And this is a plant, and it's made into a powder form, and it is 14 times stronger than morphine. And they had it in packaging, and I mean, you could buy it in a big canister if you wanted to. There's already been, I believe it was 6 deaths in the county related to this stuff. So with that, we were able to put a moratorium on these smoke shops and pass an ordinance so that we can deal with this problem. But at the moment, those can't grow, nor can any more start in our city. And we're working on ordinances to give us more strength to deal with these places, as well as we're looking at possibly some new legislation so that we can help the state deal with these problems, because they are everywhere. So,
Press conference in that, you were there. You said you couldn't do this without the sheriff responding to the 4,000 calls it does per day. Can you elaborate on that?
absolutely, sir, and I'll tell you what, like I said before, I did 32 years with the Sheriff's Department. I've never seen a harder working group than we have at this station here. And it's actually, I believe it was 84,000 calls in total last year. So they get there and they deal with those issues. Our communication together is extremely helpful. They're able to let us know things. We're able to let them know things. But we got a very hard-working crew of deputy sheriffs in this valley. Absolutely.
So this isn't a either or, this is a combination of both of you.
Absolutely, sir. The design of this hybrid program is wonderful. I think it's the future of law enforcement, in fact, where you've got that big agency that can bear a lot of resources on the emergency things and the things that are happening. And we've got our small agency of specialists that can go and attack some of the issues, ones we find as well as ones they point out to us that we can help with.
Thank you, Rod.
Yes, sir.
Chief, I know you and I had the pleasure of attending the district attorney's townhouse or town hall a couple weeks back. Could you just share with the group, what did he say about best practices, and what's some other cities doing that he's seeing results, positive results?
So he talked a lot about, well, one, he's partnering with a lot of these cities and developing a great relationship, and I'm happy to tell you that we're doing the same to ensure that our cases are filed. And then it was really just about the fact that he's making some changes in there to aid these cities so the cases are filed and are brought forth. Our previous DA did put some challenges in there that I believe affected crime and affected law enforcement and our ability to do. A lot of the things we're doing, some of these agencies are doing now. I haven't seen an agency that's working like we are with the Sheriff's Department, the hybrid program, and doing all of this. So it's a beautiful thing what we've got going here.
Can you expand on the technology conversation we had?
Yes, and you're talking about our technologies here. So one of the things that this council definitely said is bring items that are going to help and that are going to be tools to the Sheriff's Department and us, and we've done that in an unbelievable way. When you look at the fact that within this city, we have the flock cameras, which were the first thing that you allowed me to bring, that the Sheriff's Department uses very well as we are now, and gives us the ability to not only identify stolen or wanted vehicles, but be able to go out and find them, beyond our city limits if need be. Shot spotter, which lets us know when a gunshot goes off in our city. And I'll tell you right now, when we brought this system, we were averaging somewhere unbelievably around 80 gunshots a month. And a lot of these shots went unreported. We're down now to below 20 as an average. So that system is working. Our drone system, which is bar none one of the best that's out there. We've got a mobile drone system where we can get drones to any problem and help whatever agency with it. And we've also brought our drone as a first responder program, which goes live in about a week, where we have drones positioned around the city that can deploy automatically to calls for service, to the shot spotter, to the flock hits, as well as officers who have the body cameras with AI in them, which we do, can hit an E-trig on that camera, and the drone will deploy to exactly where they're at. Let's say an officer's in a fight. He can get a drone overhead, and we extend the eyes of our officers and get their our intelligence, crime center, is incredible. As the mayor saw yesterday, these folks are in there working to try and identify not only folks who have committed crimes, but also be out in front of problems that are out amongst the nation and give us a forewarning so we can take steps to ensure that it doesn't happen here. So our technologies are some of the best, and that is all in one PD, and I just don't think there's a lot of agencies, especially our size, that are bringing all that to bear to keep our community safe.
You're my hero. I want to, touch on the subject of sheriff versus Lancaster PD. Our vision for this is they have two distinct roles, and I modeled it after, the Europe armed response methodology they use. Lancaster PD's job is to handle the technology, so to assist in the apprehension that way, and to prevent the crime from occurring in the first place. I mean, that's really what they're focused on. When the crime does occur, Lancaster PD will assist in finding out who does it, but we rely on the sheriffs to take them down. And I know I should probably pick a better word, but I'm not. I mean, we have a lot of serious crime going on, and you need an armed response. And right now, the way it was is those deputies are working 16-hour shifts. I mean, that's inhuman. It just is. Sleep deprivation is a major, major thing. And so it's designed to alleviate that in the sense that if we can stop the crime from occurring, they can eventually return to a situation where they do patrols and things of that nature. I am thrilled with what it looks like it's becoming. I mean, these drones launch without a human request. A gunshot goes off, a drone is on its way to film it, and it's there within 60 seconds. I think you have in place so that there's a 60-second response time. Nobody has that. Nobody. And we're going to expand out on that program. And when you say, the city our size, people should recognize that means two things. We're a small city, but we're the biggest city. Square miles. I know we're the biggest in LA County, right? Are we the biggest in California? I don't know. But 96 square miles is a huge city, and we're annexing more. I mean, it's actually going to get bigger. Mm-hmm. For us to be able to respond that quickly is fantastic. Whatever involvement I had in Lancaster Police Department, there's nothing I've done that I am as proud of other than raising my 4 children than that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot. Thank you.
Now we have innovation and technology. Larissa, this is really exciting stuff.
It is. It's very exciting. I'm not LEPD or LPD, but I'm LD, so we can get started here. So good afternoon, Mayor. Welcome back, and good afternoon to the rest of the members of the council. I am really excited to present this item today and give you an update on what we are doing on all things innovation and technology. And I wanted to take a moment and really just acknowledge your effort, your innovation, your vision that we are bringing to light here. So thank you to you. So we have officially launched an Innovation and Technology Committee. And if you recall, in August, the City Council appointed Ms. Cynthia Underwood as Deputy Mayor of Innovation and Technology, and we have hit the floor running. Also included in this committee are members of the community, Ben Goki from Palmdale Regional Medical and Devin Burden with AV Union High School. We also have a very dedicated team of city staff that are with me today. I have Joe Haggard from IT, Kendra Oberly from the city manager's office, Tamara Gonzalez from city manager's office, and Patty Garibay, who's hiding in the back over there. And I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge our community members that did come out today to represent and to show their commitment to innovation. Ms. Cynthia Underwood, Mr. Ben Goki, and Devin Burden right here. So thank you. And of course, a committee is not formal without an official selfie. And this is our selfie from our first kickoff meeting. You can see just some of the members of the committee. So what are we doing? The focus area for the committees are endless. There's so much to do. However, we do have some focus areas, as you will see shown on this slide. AI and technology is at the forefront of all the things that we are doing. Also included into that is a streamlined development process for data centers that would bring more jobs and really have the city of Lancaster become a hub for AI and AI excellence with data centers in our community. We are also focusing on medical innovation opportunities to improve and increase access to medical treatment options to all members of our community. And we will also work to identify just other innovative programs that will benefit our community as a whole, that will help us align with the priorities and the vision of the council for innovation and technology. In the space of AI and technology specifically, we are currently investing into our AI infrastructure, and we're developing a master plan that will really help guide and shape our AI path and the future of AI for us. But I'd like to point out that we are currently using approximately 36 programs that really enhance AI and technology in our city. Rod, our chief, did mention some of the programs that we're using, and here's some of the cutting-edge technology and AI programs that we're using throughout the city that are equipping the city staff with tools to be even more successful in their daily jobs. These programs provide different AI that are making the city safer, that are making our city cleaner with AI that is detecting blight in our code enforcement programs. These other programs and AI are helping us expedite our permitting process. They're looking at participation at our city events. And really, it is endless, all of the capabilities around AI in these various programs. And we are one of the only cities that has such a robust technology and AI program. We compare ourselves, I shouldn't say we compare ourselves, but when we look at our colleagues in other cities, we can't compare ourselves because we are really on the cutting edge and leading AI. And I'm also happy to report that the city will be launching AI courses in our community center next spring. We are really excited, so look out for that. And we're participating in the Antelope Valley Task Force with Antelope Valley College and Antelope Valley Union High School District to really get a good understanding of AI and how the schools are integrating into their practices and their students. Lastly, we are working with several medical facilities on various initiatives. As you know, we partnered with Palmdale Regional for a new behavioral health facility. We also partnered with Tarzana Treatment Center with BrainStem for a pilot drug treatment program. So as you can see, we have been very, very busy in the space of innovation. And over the next several months, we will be meeting with other interested medical institutions like City of Hope, and UCLA to discuss opportunities on how we can better serve the needs in our community. And so with that, I thank you for your time. I will be coming back with updates to the council as we launch and really move forward in all things innovation and technology. So thank you.
Thank you. You know, the Antelope Valley, that's what we used to be. You know, it was all space at that time. It was all things that flew. We created those. They happened here. We're the place that should have this innovation. We're used to it. We understand that the impossible is possible. We have to restore that excitement. And I can't think of anybody better than Cynthia Underwood to do it. She hit the ground running. You know, she's calling me constantly. This company wants to come. This company wants to come. Can you meet with this company? Hey, you know, I do have a life. She is so engaged. I've just never felt this level of excitement in transforming this city. It's finally happening. I think that we've done a lot of work preparing the ground and laying the foundation, and now it's popping. I would suggest that those of you who would like to have more excitement in your life, you should join us, because I can't wait to get up in the morning, and I don't think these guys can either. Thank you. Oh, we still have presentations. I thought we were done.
Good afternoon, Mayor Paris. No, not me.
Well, don't we have
One more.
police first? You know, these darn lawyers, we just don't know arithmetic. I mean, we got to work on our numbers. But before you start, that reminds me, you know, I'm old enough to get to meander around like that. No, go ahead, I'll bring it up.
Good afternoon again. So we recently had, over the course of 2 months, 2 community cleanups. We brought a tremendous amount of volunteers to the different neighborhoods that we cleaned up. I think you see the numbers up here. There were tons of trash that were cleaned up. I'd be remiss if I didn't give our staff who helped put this on some credit for coordinating the event. The other thing, it takes a lot of community partners. It takes a village. And I think the mayor put it best earlier this evening, or this afternoon, when you said we really created a community, because I think that's what these events did. We do have an individual we're going to honor, but before we do it, I wanted to turn it over to the vice mayor here to say a few words about the event.
This is what happens when you have a bunch of people that want to help and a bunch of people that need to help. But it was watching the elderly come out, watching everybody, the satisfaction that each person got by actually helping. When you went into a person's backyard to his front yard, into the garage, to help them bring out some unwanted items, it was just, it was amazing. Several of them started crying. Several of the individuals started crying because they didn't know how they were going to get it fixed without us. But it was just to be able to partner with the youth, to be able to partner with our faith-based communities, to be able to partner with everybody else that came out was just tremendous. And all I can do is say thank you to everybody. So don't we have a video on this?
We have a video, yeah.
Before you go to that video, go back to that picture. You see the guy in the front carrying that camper? He's over 70. He's sitting next to me on my right. He actually walks the walk. I mean, he was out there working as hard as anybody else out there. That to me is remarkable. I also think it was incredibly foolish of our city manager to let you do it.
If you look on all 4 corners, Raj is on one corner, Lauren's on the other corner. So
No kidding.
I'm behind him.
I think Ken's riding
Well, I can
inside.
see why you can't see.
I think I was in the backyard that did the first lift to get it over the fence.
But that's something that can't be done. This gentleman that came out with that couldn't get it out of his backyard, and he was really appreciative that we got it out. And we're going to have a major cleanup on Martin Luther King Day. We're going to expand it, and it's not going to be just picking up trash, but it'll be fixing fences, painting different things, putting rocks in yards, just doing things that makes the community be what they are. And then we got to break bread with everybody afterwards. So, can we play the video now?
Oh, this is great. I think this is a good way to do some training, development for the youth about, being able to volunteer and give back to the community. And I stepped out this morning around 7 o'clock, and there was already people out working, picking stuff up. So very impressive.
This is God's work. This is what happens when you put church and state together. People have grown up believing that shouldn't be church and state, but it's quite opposite. In Lancaster, we're going to partner with our faith-based community, and this is what happens when you do that. Well, it does go back to the broken window theory. If you have a broken window, you fix it. If you let it go, it gets worse and worse and worse. Same way with trash. And it instills a sense of pride amongst the owners, but it's when the people get out there and they see everybody working, they start working with them. So it's kind of nice to see.
So we're going to bring up one of our groups that helped make these events so successful. And it was really one of the things we couldn't do as a staff. We have the crews that can come out and pick up all the debris, but some of the toxic material, whether it's household cleaners, paint, we needed someone who could assist. And it was Atkinson and Associates who stepped up. And I'm going to give George Atkinson Jr. the opportunity to come up so we can recognize him. He didn't want us to get confused with Senior, who I also see back there. So come on up, Junior. So thank you for being a part of both of those events. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to you at the next event.
All right, thank you.
You should go on pictures.
Haven't you built most of the big Mr. Atkinson? Haven't you guys built most of the big buildings in this area?
Yes, we've done a lot of buildings out at Lancaster Baptist Church, out at West Coast Baptist College. We did one at the college. It's probably the oldest building at the college now with all the new work that they've done. And then Kensington campus, Essex Tower. So there's been a lot of projects throughout Lancaster and Palmdale. So my wife probably gets annoyed with me because I always point out, I'm like, hey, I built that building. And she's like, yeah, I know. So, but yeah, we've done a lot of retail, a lot of stuff. There's almost not one corner that we haven't touched.
I have never heard a complaint, not ever.
Well,
and I'm out at Lancaster Baptist. I'm at the places where you've built, and they just sing your praises.
Well, thank you, because we have a motto: if we build it and it looks like crap, it's going to look like crap 20, 30 years. So we might as well build it and try to have it so where it actually stands the time. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Now, we get to hear about another rule, another regulation that's going to slow things down. You know, I'm reading a book comparing China to the U.S. China is run by engineers. We're run by people like me, lawyers. And what we do is we create roadblocks instead of roads. And now there's another roadblock. Tell us about it.
Well, with that auspicious beginning, good afternoon, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Christ, and council members. I wanted to provide you an update with regard to some changes to open meetings, open government laws that have come into effect and will begin being operative January 1 of next year, and some of them are operative July 1 of next year. Two of you council members have had the joy of hearing this once already today, but we're going to do it again, and if those of you who sit on other boards can look forward to hearing it again as well. I think this is there we go. In 2025, Governor Newsom signed a bunch of bills that revised provisions of the Brown Act, the Public Records Act, the Political Reform Act, and the requirements regarding ethics and financial training. Most of these provisions become effective January 1. I will point out the ones in particular that are July 1, 2026. First, the Brown Act. In general, we have revised teleconferencing and remote participation rules. We have a change to allow permanent authorization for limited social media engagement by officials that allows social media postings to be liked by an official without it constituting a Brown Act violation if a quorum of you like a social media post. But if you engage in communications and that social media posts are posting to one another, that could constitute a meeting that would be in violation of the Brown Act. We are required now to provide a hard copy of the Brown Act to each of you. You will receive those in January. I'm sure it will provide excellent reading material. The changes also include broader public recording rights during meetings to allow all forms of media rather than the prior provisions of the Brown Act that only allowed film. The Brown Act has now been brought from the 80s to the 21st century. They also have expanded authority to remove disruptive participants in meetings, including remote attendees, which was not clear from the prior provisions of the Brown Act. So that is one of the changes. The remote participation rules for attending council meetings and other public meetings have been changed to allow members to participate remotely as a reasonable accommodation under the Brown Act. Until now, it has not been clear, and in fact has been the opposite, that ADA accommodation would allow a member of a legislative body, such as the City Council, to participate remotely and comply with the Brown Act. To comply, participation must include audio and video, unless the disability in question prohibits video participation, such as something that might involve a surgery in the face or something like that that would make video participation inappropriate. The member must disclose if another adult is present and describe their relationship to the member. So for example, a caregiver, a spouse, an adult child, if they're in the room. And remote attendance under the ADA provisions does count for a quorum participating as if they were in person. Under lots of the other provisions that allow remote attendance, it doesn't count towards a quorum in the physical location. The ADA provisions do. The next change is change to the teleconferencing framework when something surprising happens. You have an emergency or just cause provision. In the post-COVID era, we had provisions that allowed remote attendance in emergency circumstances and remote attendance for just cause. It was confusing. There were different rules, different standards, and different noticing requirements. It was a lot. They have now been formed together into one just cause provision that allows for remote attendance for caregiving duties, illness, emergencies, military service. If you find yourself in a circumstance where you need to attend remotely unexpectedly, call me and I'll help you get through it. Remotely participating member must notify the council at the earliest opportunity. A quorum must participate in person from a singular physical location. The ADA participants count as being in the physical location. Teleconference meeting rules apply. Roll call votes, protect public access and participation, two-way audio and visual. The meeting has to be suspended during disruptions to remote participation, and the remotely participating members have to state whether an adult is in the room with them and their general relationship. The meeting minutes have to reflect the members who participated remotely and the basis for their just cause participation. And it may be used twice per year by each council member. Do you have a question? Okay. Social media, the rule that had previously been set to sunset January 1 has been made permanent to allow members of a legislative body like the City Council to use social media to share or solicit information from members of the public or respond to public inquiries, but cannot engage in discussions with one another on social media. When in doubt, please reach out to me. Public access.
Does that mean you guys can't read my social media posts?
They can read it, they just can't comment on it. At least a quorum of you can't. So whoever's first to comment wins. So agencies have to provide all legislative body members with a hard copy of the Brown Act. You'll get that in January. You can use any recording device that does not disrupt the meeting to record meetings. And we can remove disruptive participants, whether they're attending in person or remotely. Eligible legislative bodies. This is where it's going to have a significant change for the council. July 1, 2026, for eligible legislative bodies. So this will not apply to every board on which you sit. It will apply here, and that might be it for the boards that I know you all to participate in. We have to provide two-way telephonic and audiovisual access for public participation. So we will have either a Zoom or a Teams or other remote method for the public to participate. We have to adopt policies on technical disruptions prior to July 1, 2026. We'll be bringing those back next year. We are required to accommodate interpretation services for limited English speakers, including providing a designated area for an interpreter to sit to provide interpretation services during meetings. We have to maintain a public meeting webpage with meeting procedures, calendar, agendas, and all the supporting documents, information on how to provide in-person and remote public comment, and translate all of that information into languages that greater than 20% of the population speaks if they lack high English proficiency. And that is all to be determined based on the census website, which has been out of commission due to the federal government shutdown. So we will have more information on that when the census site is back up and fully operational. But that will, one other thing to note is that the legislation does contemplate the use of third-party translation services and AI services for that translation, and there is, it does not void any action taken or impact our compliance with the Brown Act if a translation is not completely accurate. So we can use AI or other services like that to provide the translation. We do not need certified translations of anything under this requirement, which is good because that would be extremely expensive.
Why aren't we already providing that service?
We could provide it now. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. We certainly could.
Certainly with the technology we have available to us, you know, I mean, 50% of our population is Latino. I don't know how many of them, you know, have trouble speaking English, but we should accommodate them. And if we could do that sooner than later, I would appreciate it.
I will look into it and get rolling on it.
Thank you. And how do we translate into idiot speak for the people that slam us on social media? I was trying to make a joke. I guess it didn't go over.
Multi-jurisdictional legislative bodies. So the city of Lancaster is not a multi-jurisdictional legislative body, but in many of the boards you sit on behalf of the city, those are multi-jurisdictional legislative bodies. So I wanted to quickly touch on it to make sure you understood all of the changes there as well. So entities composed of representatives from multiple agencies, so ABTA, ABAQMD, NCTC, SCAG, all of those entities on which you sit are multi-jurisdictional bodies, and those meetings you are allowed to attend via teleconferencing without identifying the location from which you're participating. If a quorum participates from public in-jurisdiction locations, we have audio and video participation, and the remote sites are 20 or more miles away from the meeting location. And for most of the JPAs you sit on, the use would be limited to twice per year based on the number of meetings they have per year. And then members who are compensated to attend have to attend from a location that is open to the public. So if you have any questions about remote participating at any of your other boards, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, California Public Records Act. These are some quick changes. 14-day extension for our time to respond to a Public Records Act due to a state of emergency interests. And if you have an arrangement for prospective employment at the time you fill it out, you do need to disclose that opportunity. And that's an offer that has been accepted even if you have not yet begun work. And that applies to all of us who file Form 700s. All right, ethics and financial training. This affects staff too. This expands our current ethics and training requirements. The current requirement is elected officials must complete 2 hours of training every 2 years for ethics. This has been expanded to apply to elected, appointed, you asked me that this morning, senior administrative officers and department heads. For all officials who commence their service after January 1, 2026, we have to complete in 6 months. And then every 2 years thereafter, for those officials who are commenced their service before January 1, 26, we have to complete it within 1 year. We also have a new fiscal and financial training requirement. 2 hours of training every 2 years applies to elected officials, appointed officials, senior administrative officers, department heads, who make decisions or recommendations regarding financial administration, budgeting, or the use of public resources. And again, we have to do it 2 hours every 2 years. And I gave you a nice little chart of when everything becomes effective, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Aren't you thrilled? I mean, aren't you excited about all the,
Keeps lawyers busy.
you know, my concern is that with the opening it up to Zoom, I mean, there's a lot of people that come and speak that have something to say and improve the city by telling us about it. But there's also a lot of people that are crazy. And now we seem like we're opening that gate to everybody that is crazy, you know? They don't even have to come to the council to be crazy. I mean, they could do it from the hospital, I guess.
So,
Aren't we going to end up cutting the time to speak in order to accommodate it?
so the council can set content neutral restrictions on public comment, either by the method that we use now, which is 3 minutes per speaker. So that's a by speaker limit. We also can do a cumulative total. So for example, for a particular item or for non-agendized items, for example, we could have a limit of, for example, an hour or half an hour or whatever the council wanted to set, and then have everyone raise their hand or however we're going to have them state that they want to speak, count up the number of people and divide the time that we've allotted by the number of people, and that's how much time they get. But it has to be content neutral and applied equally. So that's.
If it's Zoom, do we have to broadcast the video of that Zoom? Or can we just do the voice?
We can have the camera face this way.
I'm sorry, what?
We can have the camera face the council.
Yeah, but you got people, even when the person's talking on Zoom. Okay. And the reason I ask, just so everybody knows why, is it used to be we would run into people who just wanted to speak so they could be on TV, and they'd run home to watch themselves on TV. That's why we turned the camera around. Meetings lasted forever. Yet what we will attempt to do with this is do it so it's efficient. The reason we're meeting during the day is because you don't make good decisions when you're tired. You know, we attempt to change things so it enhances the city. I wish, never mind, go.
Any other questions? Thank you all.
Thank you. Housing consent calendar. Any items to be removed?
No speaker cards.
Is there a motion and a second for the approval of the Housing Authority consent calendar?
I'll move we approve HACC 1 and 2.
Is
I'll
there a
second that motion.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. For the city council consent calendar, Councilman Mann will need to, what? Did I miss one? Was CCT told? What do we do?
It's HACC 2. I'll move we approve HACC 2.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Now, can I go to the council consent calendar?
Yes.
Mr. Mann needs to-
Yes, Mayor Paris, item number 6 on the consent calendar, number 7, have to do with the Avenue J interchange and 20th Street improvements. And I have property within the vicinity,
Okay,
so I need to recuse myself.
so let's pull those, and let's,
I'll make a
Any
motion
speaker
to
cards?
approve the consent calendar as currently comprised, pulling CC 6 and CC 7.
Second that?
let's vote. And it's unanimous. Moving on to CC 6 and 7. Is
Motion to approve CC 6 and CC 7.
there a second?
Second.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously with Councilman Mann abstaining, I guess. Moving on to the public hearing, PH1. The public hearing is now open.
No speaker cards.
You're off the hook. We'll waive the staff report.
All right.
Is there a motion? I'll close the public hearing, and is there a motion?
Motion to approve PH1, introducing ordinance 1144.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. PH2, the public hearing is now open. Any speaker cards?
No speaker cards.
Everybody okay with waiving the report?
We can't waive this one because we have to do count the ballots. So we at least have to allow me to count the one ballot we received.
Okay.
Can you count it?
We'll have to see what it says.
Just give us a moment so that the ballot can be counted. The ballot. Yes.
You're confusing the mayor.
We don't need to, they just need a moment to count,
Okay,
or we could also waive the
thank you.
Okay, so all ballots received for item PH2 to the Community Facilities District annexation have been opened and tallied, with results being 1 yes vote. The district carries.
It took you that long, you guys, to count one vote?
We had to
I
open
couldn't
the
open it
envelope.
until.
Oh, you had to open it, okay. Now, that is what I call community participation. We should be ashamed. Okay,
So now it would be appropriate to close the public hearing and
let's
then have the
close the
vote.
public hearing.
I'll move we adopt resolution 2565 and 2566.
Is there a second?
I second.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Council reports. Vice Mayor Christ. We'll show a video of the community cleanup. Have we already done that?
Yep.
So we can move beyond that. Do you have anything else to report?
No.
We'll move on to Councilmember Molly on Day of Drafts. Now, why is it that that's the one you're at?
I don't know. But trolleys are more fun than I did. Well, it was a very successful event, and a lot of people showed up. I ran into people from LA. They drove all the way from LA to, So that was a good one. Good food, good beer. Everything was good. So we have a video, right?
You were drinking Heineken 00, right?
No, non-alcoholic. We've been doing for many years now, and I think we're going to continue doing this. It's very important for the community and businesses and for everybody.
I want to thank the Antelope Valley Fair for inviting us in here. It's just a great thing. You can see by the number of people here, there's thousands of people here.
What a great day for community getting together, a little bit of beer drinking, wine drinking, and the weather's just perfect for it.
We really try and bring out a variety of activities. So we have DJ Angie V on the stage right now doing her thing. As you can see behind us, we have stilt walkers. So we really just try to bring something out that elevates the event, makes it special for everyone, and something you wouldn't see everywhere.
Councilman, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share?
I just can't wait for this event.
Wow. Sonia, how do those pencil out?
Sorry, I had to get my microphone on. It's a revenue-producing event between the tickets we sell, the merchandise we sell. I don't have the final numbers for this event, but we, strive to break even at least. So.
Okay. I'm wondering if we should be doing more things like that, if they don't have a cost to the city.
Yeah, I think the community would welcome that. They were revenue neutral. Yeah.
You're one of the most imaginative people I know. Come up with some, would you?
Thank you. I have a great team, and I'll get them to work on that.
Thank you. Okay. Councilmember Hughes Leslie.
So I can attest that I did see Raj at another event, and it was in addition to Field of Drafts. A few of us had the opportunity to attend the AV Edge Fall Forum. It was a great event. Thank you so much to AV Edge and our community partners for coming together, collaborating, just networking, and we do have a video on that. The fact that we have professionals, businesses, from small mom and pops to your big, your big Northrop Grummons and your Plant 42s and now AV Alta, the fact that all of these organizations are coming together, you can't help but get a better product when we collaborate.
I'm so proud of my Lancaster team that they did such a good job. They showed like what we have done and what I'm about to do.
We're actually meeting now with all the high schools, all the grade schools, as well as the college. And we think they're an integral part. We understand they're part of the future.
It's also about planning. It's about planning the future and us planning for their future. So I think it's very important that we work as a region.
We are going to look at our economic development initiatives, our programs, really get a good understanding of what the needs are in the community from a business standpoint.
It was an absolutely wonderful event. We're very excited for the turnout today. We had great conversations from our educators as well as our industry leaders on how we can bring them together so that we can really grow, educate, and have our community members get jobs and stay here where they call home.
And I just want to do a shout out, Mayor, to our incredible staff. I know LD said earlier about comparison. I truly believe comparison is a thief of joy, but what we like to tell our team here is
I love that. Say that again.
comparison is the thief of joy. And shout out to the team because I think this started with former city manager Jason Cottle. We're competing against ourselves to be better than we were the day before. And I think that our team rocked it up there. I know I'm a little biased, but they just were incredible. The way they carried themselves, the way the panel discussion went, you could tell that the audience was really excited. I know I was. So thank you guys again for representing us so well and for all your hard work. And my last announcement is that, again, Councilman Molly was there, as well as Man and myself. We had the opportunity to attend the Lancaster Cemetery Annual Veterans Day ceremony. It was a wonderful event. They always put on a good event. Big shout out to some of our appointees, some of your appointees. Ben Burke was the guest speaker. He was witty, he was funny, he made all the right veteran jokes. And then we also had Cynthia Hernandez represent us, one of our new appointees as well.
Stand up, Cynthia.
Yeah. Her and her family had the opportunity to attend some of the veteran balls that were going on. So thank you so much for not only representing yourself and your family, but the city.
Thank you. So is my turn? It is my turn. I want to mention a couple things just so we can get them moving, I guess is the way to say it. I had an idea. You know how the homeless are, you notice how a certain segment of the homeless are on the street corners and they cause traffic congestion and they walk, between the cars, things of that nature. We haven't been very successful in stopping that. So why don't we compete with them? Why don't we have some type of uniform, vest or something, for community organizations and let them do that. Let them occupy the corners. Doesn't that make sense? Think about it, see if it's legal, see if we can do it. We have to get more creative in how we deal with these different problems. The other thing I've been working on is, if we could just get people reading in the third grade before they leave the third grade at a third grade level. That is so critical to how that person survives the rest of his life, how he navigates the world. Up until we go into the fourth grade, we learn to read. After that, we read to learn. And if they miss that foundation, what we're doing to them is beyond child abuse, because it's a pain that will last every day. We have the ability to fix it. The schools are doing an incredible job in addressing that particular age group. But they can't do anything if the kids don't go to school. The truancy rate in our community is unbelievable. And there's a lot of reasons for it. But why don't we incentivize the parents who get their kids to school? I know it's novel. I know it's controversial in that we're paying people to be good parents is essentially what we would be doing. But we could at least take one school and see if it's successful. It would be a manageable expense. And then if it is successful, we could seek grants to do it throughout the districts. We could also, the schools you would think would jump on this because they're funded by ADA, the average daily attendance. I think it would offset. I don't know that it's going to take that much to incentivize it. Previous DAs have tried to criminalize it using the child abuse statutes. That didn't work, primarily because they don't have time to enforce it. But I think this could work. And I would like staff to take a look at where we could find the money to do a pilot program to see where it takes us. Okay? What do you think? You like it?
If we can find the money.
You guys have done such an incredible job of managing this city. I think we can find it. I don't know how, George over there is a magician. He takes a pot of money this big, and we close our eyes, and when we open them, it's this big. I'm not quite sure how he does it, but it's one of those things I don't want to ask too many questions about. You're being very successful at that, and I think we do have the funding. That's a problem the schools are aware of and are addressing. But it's that one critical component that they're unable to do much with. And I think it's going to fall on us if we want to do something about it. But they plan prisons based on third grade literacy rates. That's how powerful that statistic is. And, we take everything else on, let's take this on. See what we can do with it, okay? Thank you. That's all I have. Oh, one other thing, I forgot. The hospital. If we don't engage with the hospital to build a new one, 2030, we don't have a hospital. The hospital is not a city function. We have no control, we have no influence. It's a total separate government body. But it seems like they've reached a point where they're not able to do this on their own. We're going to have to help them. And so I'd like the community to start thinking about and giving us some help. How should we address this? What does our involvement look like if we help with the funding? And it really should be done regionally. I mean, it's not just a Lancaster hospital, it's an Antelope Valley hospital. I don't know how we put that coalition together to work on it fast enough for when it's needed. But we better do it, or the people who replace us are going to have a hell of a problem. People are not going to accept not being able to go to an emergency room, for what it's worth. Thank you. That's all I have now.
City manager.
City manager.
Yes, I have a couple quick updates. So it is the holiday there, ice sculpting, all of those fun things that everybody loves to do with their family. And then on December 6th as well, this is a new event, I think, for this year. We're doing underwater photos with Santa. I don't know how he keeps the beard from floating away, but that sounds like a great event. And then the other thing, Lancaster Police Department, they're doing Brews with Blues. That's November 20th at the Starbucks on Valley Central Way. So go over there, and it's your opportunity to give your feedback to our police department. They love engaging with the community. They love hearing from you, so get out there and get engaged. And then lastly, a huge shout out to our public works teams. We had our first big rain events of the year. They were very proactive. They got ahead of the rainstorm. They cleaned out all the storm drains. They had a crew ready to respond. I believe we responded to 3 different incidents over the weekend. So they prevented any major flooding from happening. Very proactive, so hats off to the public works team there. Give them a round of applause. I think some of them are in the back. And then the last thing, and can you bring a slide up for me? So on October 29th, we were over at Vincent's Pasta and Pizza seeing off one of our longtime employees, Mr. David Good, who has retired. But on the way back to the yard, 2 of our public works members noticed a collision. And that is 2 of them there. They're in the back corner. Why don't you guys stand up? J.J. Rush and Selden Hicks. Come on, stand up. They came across this incident and they pulled the individual out through the front window and helped them so that they didn't sustain any more damage than they had already. So hats off to them for that. That's it for me.
Good, thank you. City Clerk?
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed one, please ensure you have given it to us so you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind, state law prohibits council from acting on items that are not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Fran? I've missed you, Fran. I haven't seen you for 3 months.
Likewise, I haven't seen you either. You've been missed. No, truly, you have been. And I appreciate your being here with us, and I appreciate all of you, what you do for the city. And I wanted to comment on the Brown Act. I think the changes that are being done are very, very well put. It gives the public a chance, more of a chance to be involved with the cities or state or whatever department of the county, to be able to speak and not be afraid to speak. And of course, there is also the time limit that's very important because, as you have said, some of them take too much of an advantage and they don't speak, come to the point, like I'm trying to do right now. But I also want to say again, and I keep I can't even say the word, reiterating every time I come up here because it comes from my heart. I appreciate the city. I appreciate what you do for all of us. And yes, the third grade schools do have to have a little bit more educational things for the children to learn because, like you say, it's a problem out there. That's why we have so many youngsters that are turning out that don't have a knowledge how to be adults. And anyway, so I don't want to get into my other parts of my jobs here, but as you know, I'm very involved with all this stuff. But I want to appreciate all of you, wish you all a blessed Thanksgiving to you and to your families and to the city and to God bless America. Thank you very, very
Fran.
much.
Thank you. Eric Lee.
Beep, beep.
Now, that's an experienced speaker.
Good afternoon, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Christ, and council members. My name is Eric Lee. I'm the principal of Lancaster Baptist School here in town. And I'm here on behalf of Pastor Chappell to send greetings and welcome back to you, Mayor. And in this season of Thanksgiving, just to express our gratitude for a few things at Lancaster Baptist. We are grateful for the things being done by our Lancaster Police Department to keep our city safe. Chief, I enjoyed watching your presentation last month and appreciate the awareness and exposure being brought to some areas like the smoke shops and unseemly activity there. And also even just the efforts to keep our city clean and beautified. We're grateful and appreciative. We're really excited. Our Lancaster Baptist School football team has made the CIF Southern Section semifinals, and they'll host that game this Friday night. And we're super grateful that L28 would come out and broadcast that game for all of those to see in our area, and really proud of the boys and hoping they advance. And then lastly, just want to say that in an effort to express our gratitude and do things to do our part in helping our city over the next several days and weeks, as part of the Thanksgiving season, Lancaster Baptist will be donating hundreds of turkeys and meals to those in need to help them celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. And so thank you all for all that you do and for the opportunity to just say a word from our ministry.
Thank you so much. Well, I think that's it. Let me get my speaking notes. You'd think I'd be able to do this, but we don't have a closed session?
Not today, no.
Did everybody withdraw their lawsuits and
We don't need any action today.
Before I close, I do want to mention one thing to the public. When you're dealing with the Lancaster Police Department, these are really experienced officers. Most of them are from the Sheriff's Department and they retired. They got 20, 30 years experience. It brings a whole different perspective. And that's one of the reasons I think we focused on preventing the crimes from happening in the first place. Because we now have the experience to predict and do those things. When you see them on the street, you're going to find them really nice. They're fun to talk to. They really have a heart for this community. And that it's not meant to be anything about the Sheriff's Department. I mean, we've got the finest Sheriff's Department out there, but we also have the most overworked Sheriff's Department in the entire county, if perhaps the nation. When you encounter them, recognize that. Don't waste their time. These are the guys that keep your kids safe. Respect them, because they have earned that respect. We couldn't exist without them. The only thing we're doing now is addressing a different angle of it. There is no competition here. There is no attempt to replace. It's two different roles. And I'm excited to see the outcome. We're already seeing crime plummet. I mean, plummet. It's no other city is having the success you guys are having, but it's because of both of you. I mean, if it was just Rod, wouldn't happen. If it was just the sheriff, it wouldn't happen. If the community could engage more, we would be so safe, we'd probably make up crime. No. With that, I think we'll close. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The meeting is adjourned, and Carol, I am coming home.